What up, YouTube? It's your boy G YouTube back at it again with another video for you. Didn't think I would be making a video this early, but without any further ado, let's jump right into it because we have a blockbuster trade in the middle of, well, I won't say super blockbuster, but definitely blockbuster for the times right now, in the middle of the playoffs. That's kind of wild. I personally don't think any trades after the trade deadline should be happening until the entire season is concluded, postseason and all. That's just my opinion. But because I don't think it's fair to all the teams that are still in the playoffs, even though they probably don't need to be making as many trades. But hey, they don't get to be involved in all those things because their season is still ongoing. So I just think overall it just isn't fair. But let's jump right into it. The Celtics right now have included a package to send over to the Thunder in Kemba Walker, this year's 16th overall pick, and a second round pick in 2025, whereas the Thunder are sending the Celtics Al Horford, Moses Brown, and a 2023 second round pick. Now, as you can see, Al Horford is making $54 million over 2 years, and Kemba Walker is making $73 million over the next 2 years, and Moses Brown is on a very small contract. So I think this really is a good trade specifically for the Celtics, and I will tell you why. Because as you can see here in their team payroll, the Thunder only have about like 55 million and 52 million in salary cooped up for the next 2 years. So that's gonna help them reach their threshold of about like 90 million, which is the minimum that you have to have. You have to have a certain amount of the cap used, or else you'll get fined heavily. So it's not worth to underpay your players. That was a rule initiated several years ago. Whereas the Celtics, they have 134 million this year and 112 million next year in salary cap, talking for the 2021-2022 season, 2022 and 2023 season. So those save approximately about, in total net, about $8 to $9 million total. And I think this is a great trade for the Boston Celtics because Kemba Walker obviously has not been working out with them, especially with the emergence of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown as, you know, prominent players in the Boston Celtics franchise. And I think Kemba Walker kind of takes a little bit from them, not too much, but it's also just been the fact that he's been injured and hasn't been able to play in some of the biggest moments that the Boston Celtics has had. He's underperformed from that Terry Rozier trade, of which I do believe the Charlotte Hornets did win. I'll talk about that trade in another video, but let's just specifically talk about this trade. So this trade is going to open up more cap room to put more pieces around Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and it also answers their big man problem with Moses Brown and Al Horford. Al Horford definitely brings a gritty type of side to him. He's a veteran big man, which is what they need, especially with a younger team like this. They could use some more veteran pieces. Not that Kemba Walker isn't a veteran, but in the position that they need it. And Moses Brown is a young defender, and he's been playing very well for the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the fact that he was actually included in this trade at all, it really surprised me, because I thought that they might have used Moses Brown as a block to build off of, as a solid centerpiece, like for the center position in the future. And him being so young, I'm surprised that they actually included him in that trade. If I were them, I probably would have kept on to him. But hey, that's the deal that they made. And that's probably going to be very good for the Celtics to build him with these other young players. I don't think his ceiling is as high, obviously, as Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, but he's going to be a nice piece for them moving forward. He's only 21 years old, and in 43 games that he played this season, he was getting about 20 minutes a game, and he was averaging 8.6 points on 9 boards, a block, 1.1 blocks, and shooting a field goal percentage of 54.5. So I mean, he's got some potential, and he's definitely a defensive minded player with some upside in terms of of offense, especially in the pick and roll with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You saw him that he's competent in the pick and roll situations, and I mean, even though he has no type of shot whatsoever. I don't really necessarily think that they need a stretch big. They did get that in Al Horford, so he's gonna help out there. But I think they definitely need someone who can anchor the defense at times, and I think that he has a potential to do that. I think he played for Portland, didn't really get much playing time over there, and he's really shined on OKC with the minutes that he's been getting. So I really think that that's probably one of the biggest reasons as to why they won that trade, because he's on such a small contract over the next 3 years. So I think that's a steal, and if he can continue to progress, that is going to be a very big win for the Celtics. And as far as how I view what the Thunder got out of this trade, I mean, the Thunder are going wild, man. That's crazy with the amount of picks that they have. Is just, I think it's good. I think they're building up a lot of draft capital that they need, but like, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird to see them having 7 picks in this draft. Like, let's go through all the picks that they're gonna have this year. So I took this screenshot off of IG from Statline that just shows you everything. So if the Rockets from the trade that the Thunder and the Rockets made, the Rockets have a top 4 protected pick, and if that falls to number 5, including OKC's current pick, they have the most likely chance of getting the number 4 pick in this year's draft. They can get the number 4, number 5, number 16, number 18, number 35, number 36, and number 55 draft picks in the 2021 draft. So that's 4 first-round draft picks and 3 second-round draft picks in this year's draft alone, which is ridiculous. For one, I don't understand why you would need that many picks, unless you're willing to flip them to maybe go to a much higher pick. Like, maybe I could see something like the Thunder packaging, the number 4 and 16 and number 5 pick up to like number 2, number 1, something like that, and maybe packaging 2 second rounders and that number 18 pick for a prominent building block for a young player in the league. Maybe they get somebody like Kyle Kuzma, who his draft value is kind of low right now, and he needs somewhere where he might be able to thrive, like as the likes of Brandon Ingram, where once he got traded from the Lakers to a situation where he can play his game and have somewhere to be around him, he's starting to thrive. So maybe that's something. I'm not saying specifically Kyle Kuzma, but along those lines, maybe getting a young player who needs a new place to thrive and really show what he's capable of. And that's, I think, what they're trying to do with acquiring all these draft picks, because there's no way in hell you're going to be able to sign all those rookies, and all these rookies are going to be able to pan out to something. The odds are just not with you in that one, even with seven draft picks in this year's draft, which is absolutely ridiculous. But I think overall, for what both of these teams are trying to do, they accomplished just that. Even Kemba Walker, he makes them slightly better. It's not going to make them a playoff contender immediately. So I think he'll be good for the development of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander moving forward, who's believe is still under contract for next year at least. So I think it's a win-win. I think it's a win-win, man. This is gonna be good for both teams moving forward. So now, I'll talk about the Kemba Walker trade and that Celtics trade and how they definitely flipped this to get the most out of Kemba Walker. From that, hell of a trade with Charlotte. So keep on the lookout for that video in the off season. I'm definitely gonna make that one, and let's watch the rest of the NBA playoffs now that this trade is unfolded. So we got tonight, we got the Sixers, Hawks, and Utah versus Clippers. Both the underseeds are down 3-2. So we'll see if the underdogs pull pull off a upset against both of these teams. And until those games happen, I'm out.